The couple never imagined that forgetting to switch off a camping lantern would end up saving their lives. The woman noticed a faint red laser dot moving across the tent wall. Someone was clearly spying on them. Amy quickly put on her clothes and stepped outside to investigate, but there was no one in sight. Moments later, the red dot reappeared, this time sliding onto Amy's body. Jack immediately pulled her close, shielding her, and urged that they pack up and leave. As they grabbed their belongings, their dog suddenly bolted out of the tent. Worried for its safety, they held themselves back from chasing after it. Then, a gunshot cracked through the silence. The red dot had been the sight of a sniper rifle. Before they could react, the lantern inside their tent shattered under another shot. There was no time left to gather supplies. The couple fled into the night as gunfire echoed behind them. Desperate, Jack led Amy through the darkness until they stumbled across a small cabin. They hid there until dawn. At first light, Jack insisted they had to return to the tent to retrieve their car keys and phone. Through the snowstorm, they made their way back. Jack stopped Amy at the entrance, volunteering to go alone while she concealed herself in the snow. When he returned, his face was ashen. Inside lay the lifeless body of their dog. Furious, Amy shouted that she wanted to kill whoever was behind this. Jack tried to calm her down, then re-entered the tent. As he searched for the keys, a steel trap snapped shut on his hand, planted deliberately by the killer who knew he'd return. Amy rushed in at the sound of his scream, quickly dressing the wound before they pressed on through the deep snow toward safer ground. Not far ahead, Amy froze. A figure emerged. It was the same killer from the night before. They sprinted in panic, but Jack was shot. Amy, too terrified, kept running, unaware that Jack had collapsed. As the killer closed in, Jack forced himself to his feet, staggering toward another part of the forest to draw him away. Only then did Amy realize Jack was missing. She turned back, only to hear the crack of splitting ice. Jack had run onto a frozen river without noticing. Before Amy could warn him, the ice gave way and he plunged into the freezing water. She scrambled forward and, just in time, managed to pull him out. Before night fell, they found another cabin. Inside, Amy used a landline to call for forest rescue and dressed Jack's wound again. Their nerves finally began to ease. But as Amy sat there, a memory resurfaced. 3 days earlier, during a trip to a snowy mountain, they had accidentally scraped a pickup truck at a gas station. Thinking no one noticed, they drove off. The next morning, their own car was keyed, with a note full of insults left behind. Convinced it was the pickup driver, they deliberately vandalized his truck in retaliation, only to be caught red-handed. Instead of apologizing, Amy cursed at him. Now, she was certain the killer was that very man. The next morning, the sound of engines woke her. A mountain rescue team had arrived, but the man leading it looked exactly like the pickup truck driver. Realizing the trap, Amy and Jack escaped through a window and hid inside a cave. There, they heard movement behind them. When Amy turned, a hibernating black bear loomed in the shadows. At the same time, the pickup driver closed in. In desperation, Amy hurled a Molotov cocktail, striking him and forcing him back. Seizing the chance, they fled once again, but Jack's condition had worsened. Barely able to walk, he collapsed. Amy went searching for help and instead found a snowmobile, just as another man appeared. It was the pickup driver's friend. Terrified, Amy stumbled backward. Suddenly, Jack struck from behind, knocking him out with a brick. They took his snowmobile and rode to a house. Inside, Amy sat